Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something really interesting. It's where the tech we use every day, like our phones, meets critical healthcare needs. We're talking about software as a medical device. SAMD, for short. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Software. A medical device. How does that work? How can an app on your phone possibly be regulated like, say, a pacemaker? And why should you care? That's what we're exploring.
Exactly. And our goal here is pretty straightforward. We want to cut through some of that complexity. We'll look at what SAMD actually is, how it's regulated, or how they try to regulate it, the challenges, and honestly, the incredible potential it has to, well, change healthcare.
Okay, let's unpack this then. SAMD, what is it really? Because like I said, you hear medical device, you think hardware, something tangible.
Right. But SAMD is different.
Our sources make that pretty clear.
Yeah, they do. And the IMDRF, that's the International Medical Device Regulators Forum, they've got a definition that the FDA here in the U.S. really aligns with. They define SAMD as software intended to be used for one or more medical purposes that perform these purposes without being part of a hardware medical device.
Without being part of the hardware.
That's the key. It runs on general purpose platforms. Your smartphone, your tablet, maybe a standard computer. You don't need special medical hardware for the software to do its job.
Ah, so the accessibility factor. Using tech we already have.
Precisely. And that distinction is crucial. It changes everything, development, regulation, how doctors and patients actually use it.
Okay, but if it's just software running on my phone maybe, how do you ensure it's safe? That it actually works? Who's making sure these apps are, doing what they claim for our health? Especially with updates flying out all the time.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's where regulators like the FDA, working with global guidelines from the IMDRF, really step in. Their absolute core focus is safety and effectiveness. It's not just a free-for-all. The IMDRF has this risk classification framework. It's quite smart, actually. It looks at two things, mainly. First, the significance of the information the SAMD provides. Is it just tracking steps or diagnosing a serious condition?
Big difference.
Huge difference. And second, the state of the healthcare situation. Is it for managing wellness in a healthy person, or is it for treating something critical?
So context and impact determine the level of scrutiny.
Exactly. Low risk versus high risk. It means like a simple tracker doesn't get the same intense review as, say, software that helps calculate drug dosages. The FDA uses a similar system in the U.S. Class 1, 2, and 3 from low to high risk. And there's a big push globally, led by IMDRF, to harmonize these rules. The idea is to get safe, effective innovation to patients faster everywhere.
Okay, that framework makes sense. But it sounds like there are still some massive hurdles. Our sources definitely point to challenges. What are the big ones keeping regulators and developers up at night?
Well, you touched on one already, the sheer speed of tech advancement. Software changes so much faster than traditional medical equipment. Development isn't linear. It's iterative, constant updates.
Yeah, how do regulations built for slower hardware cycles even cope?
It's a massive challenge. Balancing safety without killing innovation, that's the tightrope they walk. Then there's cybersecurity. Huge issue.
Oh, I bet. Patient data.
Extremely sensitive data. And SAMD often lives on less secure platforms like personal phones or tablets, making it a target. So constant vigilance, security audits, updates, it's nonstop.
And getting different systems to work together, like an app talking to the hospital's records.
Interoperability, yep, another big one. SAMD often needs to plug into electronic health records or EHRs or communicate with other connected devices. Making that seamless and secure adds layers of complexity. But while these challenges are real, they're not insurmountable. Advanced tech and evolving regulations are tackling them.
So despite the hurdles, the future sounds promising. Our sources talk about immense potential. What can SAMD really do for healthcare?
Oh, the potential is transformative. Seriously, think about remote care. SAMD makes it much more powerful, or enabling earlier diagnoses, maybe spotting patterns, subtle changes that humans might miss until much later.
Like predictive diagnostics.
Exactly. And supporting truly personalized treatment plans based on real-time data from the patient. For chronic conditions, or even life-threatening ones, this can speed up treatment, reduce delays, and genuinely improve outcomes.
And you hear a lot about AI in this space. How does that fit in?
SAMD is really the vehicle bringing AI and machine learning into day-to-day medical practice. These algorithms can analyze vast amounts of health data, find hidden insights, interpret complex information almost instantly. Imagine AI helping a doctor read scans, flag risks, or suggest treatment adjustments based on the latest global research and the patient's specific data.
That's powerful stuff.
It really is. And when you combine SAMD with wearables, smartwatches, sensors, and the whole Internet of Things in healthcare, you create this connected health ecosystem. Patients get more control and insight into their own health, providers get richer, continuous data. It empowers both sides. As the regulatory side keeps adapting, we're likely going to see SAMD adoption climb, and that should really push health outcomes forward globally.
So wrapping this up, SAM&D is clearly more than just apps. It's a fundamental shift. Software-driven solutions making healthcare potentially more accessible, efficient, accurate.
Definitely. And because it is regulated through frameworks like the FDA's and IMDRFs, we're seeing constant innovation in remote monitoring, diagnostics, AI-driven care, all with safety checks in place. It's really pushing the boundaries, and maybe here's something to think about. As this tech keeps evolving, understanding it, navigating the rules around it, that becomes crucial, not just for the companies making it, but for all of us. We need that balance between safety and rapid innovation. So what new possibilities do you imagine opening up if the device you carry everywhere becomes a powerful partner in managing your health?
That's a fascinating question to leave us with. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.